Hello! I think we settled on hello, right?
Hello.
Hello!
No.
Welcome.
Can we not change it up every time?
We totally could.
Sorry.
Welcome to the Must Love Yarn podcast. It is Monday, February 14th.
Right. Happy Valentine's Day.
And we are a podcast about yarn and knitting and maybe crochet, fiber stuff, Vermonty things. And we bring this to you from our yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont, where we have a bricks and mortar store and we have an online store. So come check us out. And where you can buy all the fun stuff we're going to talk about today.
Yes. And more. Lots more. Because we're lucky we have a very big store, actually.
We do. We are very lucky. And I'm Angela.
I'm Jen.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Ravelry as, which one is that? J Arbuckle, and on Instagram as Jennifer_Arbuckle. I have to pause my knitting and engage my brain.
Yes. Transition. Right. And we do normally have podcast and store mascots, but they are resting after the Super Bowl yesterday at home and couldn't make it today. Their social calendar was too full. But, you know, feel free to check out their shenanigans over on Instagram.
Yeah.
And, you know, the meerkats are just a whole nother thing that just have taken a life of their own, off of their own. So it's a thing now.
We have a little group of them, and so there's a few that live here in the store, and we had a customer yesterday with a young daughter, and she was like, what did she call them? I think she said lions. She's like, oh, look at these lions. I don't know what she said. And her mom was like, I don't think they're lions. I was like, they're meerkats, though. And she's like, oh, awesome. And then her mom was giving her some reference to a children's movie that escaped me, but I knew it was about a meerkat, so.
Well, I mean, there is a meerkat in The Lion King.
Maybe that was it. Yes, actually. What is his name?
Timon is a meerkat.
That's the one. Right,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes. So
yeah,
everybody understood then what was going on.
What animal we were talking about.
Yes.
So they're not here today. But don't worry, they're
resting comfortably.
And enjoying their time off.
Yeah.
So last podcast 2 weeks ago, we revived an old segment that we used to do all the time, and it's our podcast pick. And so we have some more podcast picks for you. And so the way this works is for 2 weeks from when the podcast airs. So you'll be watching this on Friday if you watch it right when it drops, which is the 18th. And so for 2 weeks following that day, so through March 3rd, you can get 10% off the yarns that we're going to show you with the code, which I've not come up with yet. So you'll get to see Jen and I go, oh, what should the code be?
It could be easy, right?
We could. Let's see, though. Let's see what happens. Because sometimes it's
Something
fun
funny.
to have funny codes.
Right, although pronunciation might be a problem if we don't do the simple one.
Right. Totally.
Right. So.
Oh! See, but it's a good thing I turned our lights on there.
That's right. The spotlight is now very obviously.
Right there. Right there. Okay.
Right.
We're good. We're good for a little bit.
For at least 20 minutes or until it shuts down again. If we only knew how long it was, we could arbitrarily throw our arm up in the air or something to
Do something.
engage. Right.
Exactly.
The sacrificial ball of yarn that we can throw over the racks there. So
we have had a stock up on Noro.
yes. So we restocked our friends curry on. We have more colors than I have shown here, but I just picked up a few varieties.
As you know, with Noro, sometimes you think you have multiple
Right.
skeins in different colors, and they all turn out to be the same skein.
Right. So that's Curion. And we have, I want to say 7 or 8 colors. And we also have restocked in Silk Garden. So Curion is, 100% wool and silk or wool and mohair, right?
So it's 100% wool, the Curion.
And
our Curion retails for $10.99 a skein.
And then Silk Garden is 45% silk and 45% mohair and 10% wool, which is why it's always been one of my favorites because, as I may have mentioned once or twice, I do love some silk in my yarn.
And our Silk Garden retails for $12.99.
Okay, so then we also...
So both of these lines of yarn are included in the pick.
And we have also 7 or 8 colors.
Yeah, we didn't bring over all the colors, but
there's too many. Check them out. And then also we restocked on these...
On the Ito.
Big old Ito balls.
Big Ito.
That's right. And again, we have 4 or 5 colors of this. This is 100% wool, but it's a big 200-gram skein. Yep. Plus, they're just lovely.
And so the Ito, it retails for $45, right? So it's 400 or 200 grams, 400 meters. These are all 50-gram skeins. So it's 4 of one of the regular balls, which is why it's 45. But if you do the math, it's
right. 10% off.
It's right in there.
Yeah. And of course, you only need a couple of these in order to get, close to a garment of some sort. So again, we have several colors of this as well. And then
we have a new one. We brought in a new Noro line. Yeah. Pretty excited about it.
Yeah. So soft. And most people will be like, Noro, when is Noro soft? Because I think a lot of people have this conception that it's really scratchy, which is part of the reason I like Silk Garden, because with all the silk in there, it's really not scratchy. It's pretty soft.
I mean, I will say even the Curion feels like it has softened up quite a bit.
Well,
and when you wash it, it's
great.
Yeah.
It's just great. I love Noro. So I was sort of instrumental in restocking. These guys were like, what? I was like, the colors. Look at the beautiful colors. I love the colors. So this is... Okunoshima, exactly right.
And it's a 35% silk, 28% wool, 20% Angora,
and a bunny.
17% mohair. So, while it's not sort of a true fuzzy, I'd count this for the snuggle along.
Yeah.
Because it's got Angora and mohair in it.
That's right. It's funny, the halo... There is definitely a halo. It's probably hard to see on the screen. You can see it here, at least compared to the other ones. It definitely has a little more fuzz to it. And so we have 4 colors that we brought in. We're sort of testing it out to see if people like it. And if so, we'll bring some more colors in. There were a few colors that were back ordered. So I think there's some more that we can bring in. But it's really great.
So these are 100-gram skeins. So roughly 220 meters, which is, sort of a normal, a little bit of a larger worsted weight skein, but in that ballpark. These do retail for $29.99, and that's partially just because of the fiber content that's in it. But I mean, this is so just like.
And speaking of which, I just read the fine print, believe it or not, without my readers on, which is a miracle. Okinoshima is a small island best known as Rabbit Island, which is why it's named this, because of the bunny.
Oh.
Yeah. Sweet. Anyway, really fun, beautiful colors. And it's funny, Ariana, our store manager, is not a Noro lover necessarily, but she had a skein of this that she gave to, I think, her mom or her mother-in-law to knit with, and she loved it.
Yeah.
And when Ariana saw it knit up, she was like, yeah, we should definitely bring this in. So anyway, so all of the Noro that we have in stock,
10% off.
10% off.
10% off.
If you're a lover of this,
the coupon code PP Noro.
That's what I was going to say too. Keep it simple. Right, because Noro Bunny just gets long. Who wants to type that in?
That is, or PP Bunny.
Right. Right. I think PP Noro. Better choice.
PP Noro for podcast pick.
Right. Just for clarification purposes.
Noro.
This one is really lovely with the pink and the green in it.
Yeah, nice.
So pretty. Like very springy.
Yes. Totally.
Anyway.
I'm going to write that down because otherwise it's totally possible it will just out of my brain
Become
before I
Pinky
even.
Bunny.
Yes. And that would be all kinds of fun. Thank you to everybody that took advantage of the podcast pick from last time.
Yeah.
Some of you were getting in on that. So that was fun. I would say go check out the last podcast episode, but that coupon code will have expired by the time this podcast airs.
I was thinking that.
So keep an eye on those because we're bringing it back.
We may do maybe a little reminder on the social medias tomorrow because we're starting our Fuzzy Along, right?
Right, but they won't know what we're talking about because this won't go up till
No, for this, but for the other ones.
Yeah, the other one. Yep, yeah. Totally.
On the Muscle Up Nerve podcast.
Great idea.
Social medias.
Great idea.
And so we'll talk more about Noro in a little bit when we get to projects. Because since there's some here, I'm knitting with it.
So what are you wearing today?
Of course you're going to ask me that. My phone went to sleep. I am wearing my Christmas capelet. I'm just kidding. That's not what it's called. But that's what I call it because there was one year where I had gotten through yet another Christmas holiday with nothing red to wear. And I was like, so in January I knit this because I was like, I need something red to wear for Christmas in 11 months. So...
And if you don't do it then, just won't happen.
That's right. So it's called The Peacock's Tail Capelet by Aline Oftedal. And actually, it's a little stretched out because it does sometimes stretch out, but it's just a little like shoulder cozy. It's just a pretty pattern. And it's actually meant to be knit with bulky yarn. But, I had Ravelry Red in my... in fingering weight. So of course I knit it with 3 strands of fingering weight held together. Not that you can tell. So anyway,
nice.
I do like it. I wear it more than at Christmas. Static.
Oh no. It is static time.
That's right. Probably if I did my fingers in my cocoa, that's probably not a good idea. Straighten out those flyaways. So anyway, it's a great little pattern. It was a super quick knit, and especially because it's bulky, but it's pretty. The lace is pretty, and it's good for Valentine's Day. And for Christmas, and also when you just feel like wearing red, which every now and then I like red. So
I decided to go festive today, and I wore my love note, and I was talking in the outtakes that I probably need to knit another one that's maybe a little bit of a smaller size.
You've lost some of your size over the last year or so.
I have, and so not everything fits me anymore, which is a good problem to have.
The only good thing about that is that bigger sweaters are always comfortable, so it may become more of an at-home sweater. But
yeah. So I thought, it's a win-win. It's love note. It's Valentine's Day. It's super fuzzy. It's purple, and turns out it was good because can hear in the outtakes what I walked into at my office today, so I was happy
warmth
to
was
have
necessary.
something a little snuggly on.
Yes.
So this is by Tin Can Knits. This is the one with the lace on it. Jen knit one without the lace.
Right.
So
it's in my list for charcoal gray.
So maybe. Pretty. And this is a
drizzle, right?
Is it drizzle or is it?
I think that purple color was the drizzle that we had from Sugar Lynn.
Yep, I think it's drizzle, and the underlying yarn is from a Whimsical Wood yarn company.
It's your boxy, right, that you didn't do?
I started as something else, and I was like, I don't like this, and I ripped it out.
Boxy, I think maybe,
right?
I don't
Probably.
remember.
I can't remember.
Who knows? It's funny because the underlying yarn, the purple really... It was more dark blue, I feel like.
It was more of like a Cabernet kind of color.
Yeah.
Like it was drink up, bad word. Meant to be like wine colored, sort of purpley wine color. But with this, you would never know.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like it was black or who knows.
Fuzzy along, knit along. It's good for you to be on target today.
Yes.
For many reasons.
On it.
You are.
Totally on it.
I completely forgot about that part.
Yeah.
I was focused on Valentine's Day.
But I could totally do another love note.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't have any shortage of fingering weight yarn at my house.
Right.
Probably only take a couple of skeins.
It doesn't take much, right? I mean,
take very much.
The one for my niece, I'm trying to remember now how much I used. Well, of course, it was like a small or a medium. Yeah. Maybe a medium, but... For me, it would be a little bit larger.
I
Plus,
mean,
it would be longer.
The
would be
mohair would be the wild card, but I probably have enough that I could fade it or.
We've got some over there.
I know.
if you need some.
I know.
We've got lots and lots of mohair. I guess that's true. We probably should have shown more of that, but we have been showing that recently. So
yeah,
we have lots of choices if you need some for your fuzzy fuzz.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So that's what I'm wearing today.
Okay.
Had to dig this out from the bottom of my sweater chest. It's been a while since I wore it.
Mm-hmm.
But good choice for
Pretty.
today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like that color.
It is a great. Actually, I have more of this yarn. I think I had like 4 skeins of it, and I'm pretty sure I only used a couple of them for this sweater.
Even for that size, so you definitely would have enough to make.
Yeah.
But you want to make a different color, right?
Probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably. Because you have one in that color.
I know, right?
Even if it's a little too big.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So I have a couple finished objects.
I have a 98% half finished object.
We count it. Totally count it.
Right, and that's it.
So we have Pinions is back up on our mannequin model
With her other side showing.
with this side showing, and the cowl neck is done.
Completely a finished object, not a whip.
Totally not with just like yarn still attached to it. Like 2 weeks ago.
Blocked, ends woven in.
Ends are woven in. I didn't reblock it after.
You didn't
the
need
cowl
to.
neck.
It was already blocked.
It's already blocked. So it's all ready to go to wear at some point. Probably more of like a transition piece here to wear like in the morning if it's a little cold in the springtime. It would give a little bit of warmth right now, but not the kind that we would need for.
And not really, right
Yeah.
now we're in the let's wrap it around our neck kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I have some other like the All Point South cowl and stuff that it's more dense, and so it does keep everything warm. This is much more open and loose.
Yeah.
And definitely
Very summery.
not very summery, more spring summery.
Yeah.
So, but it will get a lot of wear. I love the colors, the way that they knit up.
Yeah.
And I do have leftovers, and so this weekend I recaked them all in like a magic skein.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a good
Actually
idea.
2 magic skeins by color.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to weigh them and see what I have left, so I have a sense of like what I could do. But I feel like I have almost like 2 full skeins.
Really, that much left?
I'll have to weigh
I'm surprised. Yeah.
I'll have to weigh them.
Well, I guess it depends on how big were the minis in
20 grams. So it's equivalent
okay.
of like 5
Yeah.
skeins with 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So I have to throw them on the scale and see what I got. But they're
Yeah.
so pretty. Like I almost just want to like look at them because they're just, you can see like the rainbow
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So now they take up less space instead of like 25 bags like laying all over the place. So
Sea glass.
I could. Yeah. Yeah.
Except for that you put them all. Well, it would be fine.
I could knit off
you
the
just
2
wouldn't.
skeins.
Yeah, I was going to say just wouldn't have to, and it would just be wherever the color changed
Yep.
to change, rather than always changing in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which would be fine.
That might be fun.
It's a fun sweater to knit. I need to go back and finish my t-shirt once I get through some of this other these random distractions over
Yeah.
here.
So Pinions is done, and then I knit a hat, another hat as well. I got inspired by Jen,
Who's knit most of her hat, but also has knit other things, which is exciting. So as usual, Aunt is always going to have more than me. That's the way this works, just for the record.
So I cast on a Musselburgh hat because everybody was doing it, and I was like, those are super cool. And I got mine done.
And just for the record, while we're there, mine is 3/4 done. You've seen me post about it a little bit. So it's interesting. So mine is knit in worsted / Aran weight, because Noro is technically Aran weight. Of course, I usually knit it at a worsted gauge, but and so I don't want to tuck it in because of my needles, but it's really, I'm very excited about it. I tried it on when it was just the Noro part done, and it actually fit pretty well. It looks kind of big, but it fit pretty well. So And I'm loving the colors, actually. You know, I'm a sort of bright color person.
This is fun. Yeah.
It's really great because it's so mindless.
Yeah.
The top is a little fiddly. It's a little fiddly to start with.
So I'm going to show you my top.
Oh.
I did not do a fancy cast on.
I did what they told me to do, one of those circle thingies.
I did a normal cast on with the 8 stitches, and I had a hole there, and when I sewed in wove in my ends, I closed the hole.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. I did the magic circle, the one lady's name, magic circle. I forget which one.
I don't think you can even.
No, I don't think so either. And it was the first time I think I've done that because I do not crochet.
Yeah.
And it was like the granny square crochet.
Yep.
Thing. So, but I'm happy with it. And on the other end, we'll see what happens. I may not do the same thing, get rid of it. But I have enjoyed the fact that you can just tuck your yarn right inside. It's like a yarn sack and a knitting project all at the same time. That looks nice on you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So speaking of Noro, obviously, despite all of my discussion last time, that you can knit this in any gauge you want. It's true. However, the pattern really is for like fingering and DK weight. So I get home after that whole conversation where I was like, oh, you know, and I was like, oh, so not worsted weight. But of course, being me, I was like, I'm knitting it in what I want to knit it in, which was what I had, which was worsted weight. And so it actually is fine. Obviously, I just knit it until the increases got me to 96 stitches, and it was fine. It was actually one of the gauges that are listed in her little diagram, so it's fine.
It was fine.
And even though the moonshine is a little bit lighter and not quite as dense as the as the Noro, it's still fine. And so I'm pretty excited about it because next winter, this is going to keep me warm for sure outdoors. The 2 layers is really
I think I want to make another one. This one's actually a gift. It's not for, I'm not going to keep it.
It looks nice on you, those
Thank
colors.
you.
Is that percolated?
It is percolated.
Look at me, remembering something.
So Woolen's and Nosh.
Right.
It's her percolated colorway. It's a birthday present for my brother.
Oh,
so it will look good on him as well because we have similar coloring.
Yeah.
The inside is Ella Ray Cashmerino Sport. But the 50-gram skein is apparently not enough.
Oh, interesting. I wonder why I thought you did it for fun, but...
No, I ran out.
Oh,
I ran out, and I was like, I'll just get another one when I'm at the store, and I jumped on to check the inventory, and we're all out of this color, so I was like,
I think that's cute.
I think it's cute, too, and I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's a little design element, so if he decides he wants to wear it this way...
Yeah. I actually thought you did that on purpose.
I didn't, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's nice, especially, obviously the hat, she has it knit all in the same color and not switching colors.
Yeah.
We were switching colors. So I ended up using, did I use more than 150-gram skein? I don't think so. I think I had some left.
I haven't weighed percolated yet to see how much I have left.
Yeah. Because the Noro is 50 grams, and so I feel like I had some left because I had 2 skeins of this to start with. So maybe I went a little bit into 1 skein. Yes, sorry. I knit. It was like one and not quite a quarter.
That would make sense because that's like...
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be close as I was doing the decreases. I was like, this could go either way.
Yeah.
So...
Huh. Interesting.
And
so this is 100 grams, so I'll be curious to see what's left once I get. Yeah. So I knit on this quite a bit actually, because it was, as usual when you're knitting with stripes or with Noro or something like that, where there's color changes, you're just like, color changing.
So pretty.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you want a warm winter hat, I would hardly.
And
this has not even been blocked, and
I know.
And it's pretty soft. I know a lot of people have that. It's scratchy, Noro.
But this is like a perfect pattern because you could use whatever yarn you wanted on the outside and put something soft, like cashmerino or
soft woolen
wool or something on the inside.
I did not pick it for that. I picked it because it was the right color.
Yeah,
right. Because I love a blue.
I feel like blue. I'm gonna make some more of these.
I think they're great. They use up a lot of yarn, obviously, but they're really there's a nice fit.
No, again.
All right, what can we throw over there? Here, I'll throw one of these. Yeah. We have to find like a fly swatter or something.
Something.
Or we need to have to
something.
move, what we really need to do is have to move the sensor. That's what we need to do.
So it's over here, closer to us.
Or add one.
People are right now. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, not usually a problem because we're not often here at nighttime. Only for this. So anyway, that's my, oh no, that's not my, so I do have my half.
Okay.
And you have more finished objects?
No, that was it.
Okay. So this is my 98% half finished object. And it's a very funny one, although ultimately it won't be. But I'll put it on just for the fun. So it's a big mitt. A really big mitt.
It is giant.
It's the giant mitt. And so maybe it's not obvious, but it could be obvious that it's going to be felted. I'm teaching a mitten class here at the store on whatever this weekend, Saturday, and so
Tomorrow.
right. So I knit this whole entire thing over the weekend. So I started it like Saturday afternoon, and I finished it right before the post-game show last night. So I was actually pretty excited. It was pretty quick. It feels really large to me, but I actually got gauge, and I am using a pattern, felted Curion mitts. And part of the reason these will ultimately be for me because I wear mittens a lot in the wintertime because my hands are very cold otherwise. And I have some other mitts, but so the bottom part of it is leftovers from the hat. And then this is a different color, sort of here where the color changes are, but when it's felted, it won't matter. And then I have some other leftovers to start the second one with. And for the class, I'm just going to get it knitted to a point where I can show how to do the thumb. But I'm going to felt this before the class, so there'll be one unfelted and one felted, or whatever.
Nice.
So, anyway, look at those colors.
So
I don't know why they just make me happy, but they do. I love them.
Because they're rainbowy
Yes.
and happy colors.
Noro colors. Yeah, so this actually is Lot C, one of the Curions. Lot C, color 448 for the top of the mitt.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's not matchy-matchy, but it's pretty matchy because it will all be, this is obviously from the hat, and then it'll be a mixture. Some of the other colors will be on the other mitten, and this hat yarn is, I don't even know, 4 years old maybe. Been sitting there so those colors don't exist anymore, but this one does.
Nice.
Here in the store, 10%
Yay.
off.
Exactly. With the coupon code.
That's right. So you can see my love affair with Noro, which is why we're doing this week. Hopefully someone else out there loves Noro as much as I do.
Nice.
Hopefully there's lots of people because there's a good deal right now at a local yarn store that we've heard of.
Totally.
All right, that's it for me. I only have one other project to talk about, and there's not much to say. Do you have works in progress?
I have a couple.
Why don't you go? Because
I
have a tiny amount of
I made
progress. She's made a whole sweater.
No.
Had you started this last time? No.
Yeah, I had.
Oh, maybe.
I think so.
All right. Maybe you had done a little bit, like to hear.
I just put in my armhole steek panels. So
I forgot it was
armholes are steeked on this. This is Danny. Sweater is called Danny. So there's the second armhole steek. And
nice.
Thank you. I'm using Digilpin. That's the white.
I don't know where you were going. I don't
know.
One of them.
My brain just was like, I don't know. You tell me. What yarn are you using?
I couldn't remember what you were using, and then that just popped into my head. So. Good timing.
The natural is Digilpin, and the colored yarn is some Feederbrook Farms. Their Entropy DK that I picked up at Rhinebeck this last year. And
the Digilpin is Lelland.
Yeah.
Lalland.
DK. Both non-superwash, super sticky. I'm constantly untangling balls because of the striping and the sequence. You are working 3 balls in the round. So 2 of the white and one of this, and I am constantly untangling yarn because it sticks to itself like crazy, which is what you want if you're going to steek anything. You want super sticky yarn, but this is just a really fun pattern way to use these sort of barber pole yarns with stripes on the back and these fun little dots on the front. It just showcases, I think, this type of yarn beautifully, and it's such a fun, different pattern.
Yeah, especially on the back, because it's kind of fun that it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have one oopsie on the striping, if you can see it, and I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Right there.
Maybe one row of white missing.
One row of white missing. I don't know really how that
You know
happened.
what you could do is somewhere up near the shoulders, just do it again. Figure out how far you're going to be roughly and just do it again.
Do it again so it looks like a design element.
Right.
I probably can't even recreate it because I don't even know how I
to.
did it the first time. I kind of don't care.
It's just one row of...
One row. Yeah, totally.
Doesn't matter.
Nope. It's on the back. I can't see it anyway.
Right. But
I mean,
the dots are correct, which is kind of
No,
funny.
the dots aren't correct,
off
but
too?
you can't tell.
Oh, yeah. No, if you really look, you can squint and...
Yeah, but you can't tell. It's not easy to tell the dots.
Oh, who cares? Right. Handmade.
Exactly. If you're looking at my sweater that close, you have other problems.
That's right.
But anyway, so that's fun. Patterns by This Bird Knits. So it was, I mean, it was designed to use spin cycle, but there's tons of other options out there for that type of yarn.
Our knit along, right?
Yep. Our along.
Right.
Yeah, along.
I did knit another inch or so of this. Not much progress to show, but another inch in between. So I also have been knitting on the Seasons of Vermont pattern that I flashed on the screen last time. Woo-hoo! So I got that to the point where I'm just waiting for the other yarn, and Katie and I were talking about color this week. So hopefully she's going to send that this week once she has a chance to. She's going to fuss with the color a little bit more, and then I can finish that up. And so that I did actually knit quite a bit. It doesn't look like it, but I did between that and a little bit of that and that.
Nice.
So, but of course I'm like, oh, I want to knit this. I want to knit this. I have a few things that I put aside that I like to knit again, but
I was with the Musselburgh. I was enjoying just having a straight stockinette pattern.
Yeah,
because I have 2 or 3 things going that
fussy ones.
I mean, this one's not overly fussy. It's just there are points when you have to pay closer attention.
It's so pretty.
Isn't that fun? So this is the Stochastic Hat by Hunter Hammerson. And it's been designed to use a specific yarn from Gauge Dye Works, and the yarn was dyed specifically for this hat. Super fun. I've linked it in show notes. It's like a cluster stitch, kind of
like little tiny buds, flower buds.
Yeah,
that's what they look like to me.
Yeah, I
guess they could be leaves, but they look like flower buds to me.
Yeah, they're fun.
Little tulips.
Something different. And so you knit in stockinette until you hit one of your color streets, and then you make the cluster stitch, and then you knit in stockinette till you hit the next one. So
interesting.
Yeah,
it's funny because it looks like it's transitioning up several rows, but it's not, right? I guess
it might be. It's totally going to depend on what your gauge is. So I think no 2 hats are going to be the same because the clusters are going to hit in different places.
Right, but the cluster spans several rows of stockinette.
7 down.
Oh, okay.
So you drop down to make the cluster.
Oh, it's like a tuck thing. Yeah. Dimensional tuck knitting, sort of. Yes. Interesting.
So
it's funny because it doesn't look like, even up close, you can't really tell, except for on the one side there, I guess. But
what it is.
It just looks like it's stretched out over the 7 rows, so it's confused. It's
It looks fancy.
It does look fancy. Yes.
Yeah. So there's a couple, and there's another dyer that's doing similar stuff. So a Whimsical Wood yarn company, so the same one that did the yarn for the sweater. She has some that she's, my 5-year-old helped me pick out this yarn.
Yeah.
You're going to have matching hats. I might have 2 skeins of this. I thought at one point I actually ordered the gray, and then it showed up and I was like, I guess I did not. That would be bright aqua.
It is very fun.
Very fun.
Mm-hmm.
So this yarn is going to do the same thing. She designed her own pattern called the Happy Clusters hat. And she has like 2 or 3 different types of clusters to knit, but hers does rainbow. Oh, yeah. So it's going to be rainbow clusters.
In order, somehow.
No, all the rainbows all in the same cluster.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Okay, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. So stay tuned for this hat.
You have to at least get to the point where we can see what a rainbow looks like. And then if it's so annoying, you can put it aside. Well, the 5-year-old will not let you put it aside, that's for sure.
No.
She will want you to
She will want me to keep going.
Yes.
So this will...
It's not even one of those things where you can say, if you really want this hat, you can learn how to knit it yourself.
No, because it's a fancy cluster stitch.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. What else do we have? We have several other yarns to show you that are new to the store.
Yes.
And then...
we have our class list posted.
I was just going to say, yes. And I think that most of them are available on our website. I think some towards the end of April are maybe not available on the website yet. But...
Mine are not available yet because I have not completed my class descriptions.
Shame on you. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be the sock class, the heels and toes class, which
we actually probably have some descriptions that you could use.
I looked.
Did you? Well, we'll talk about it afterwards because I can suggest something. Because I actually did not make up the mitten description. I took one and I modified it a little bit.
Because I think that one's going to end up being more of like a lecture type thing than a hands-on.
You could get people to knit to a certain point and then turn a heel or start turning it so they at least understand the mechanics.
Yeah. So we'll see. I have some ideas. And then the other class I'm doing is the mosaic knitting.
I think that we have a description.
We have, there was a couple of them, and we can talk offline.
And we will.
And we will. So, anyway, so check out, there's lots of fun stuff going on, all kinds of classes.
Yeah.
We're really excited about it. We're happy to be able to bring classes back.
Yeah, and people are starting to sign up,
and
which is
people are
great.
signing up. That means they're excited. We're excited.
If you want a class, or you're thinking of something that you don't see listed, drop us a note. Send us a comment. Because, we just respond to what we hear from people the most.
Or what we want to teach.
Right. But we can certainly learn to do something new, or we can teach something new, I should say.
Or we might already know how to do the thing, and we just don't even think about it.
Right, that we don't think of it as being class-worthy or whatever.
Cluster hat. Something like that could be really fun. I was thinking she might be fun to reach out and be like, could you do a custom cluster
we could
style?
do the yarn.
We could do a hat with a special custom color or something.
The yarn could just be part of the price of the class.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of fun stuff.
Let me know.
And it is stuff that we often just take for granted.
Right.
We, as I said, we respond to what we think people want to learn or what we've heard them ask for, but it doesn't mean that there's not other millions of great ideas out there.
Exactly.
And we have several crochet classes.
Yes.
And lots of knitting related topics, so a little bit of everything. But
something
again,
for everyone.
If there's something you're really, really wondering about, just let us know and we will develop a class around it.
Absolutely. So we have a couple of other yarns we wanted to show. They're not a part of the podcast pick, but they're new in the shop, and so we wanted to just highlight them for you as well, because we're getting all kinds of fun new yarns in. So this first one, we have had the fingering weight version of it for quite some time. But we have brought in the Juniper Moon Farm Harriet. This is the worsted weight.
It is the softest thing you've ever felt. It is so soft.
It is 100% alpaca.
So choose your projects wisely. Yes. But we might even have a couple more colors over there. We have a lot of colors. This is just a sampling, but they are very nice. So
some rundowns. These are 100 gram skeins. 218 yards, so it's a standard worsted weight skein. The Harriet retails for $22 per skein. So it is, you would use it for a hat or a cowl.
Oh my God, can you imagine like a little wrap or something that you could just cozy up in the wintertime under this?
Oh, nice. Probably not a really good yarn for a full garment, unless you are going to hold it with something else to give it some structure.
Right.
Unless
you'd like to knit a crop thing that turns into a tunic.
Yeah, it's very stretchy.
Yeah.
But
I just love these. I mean,
super
I'm not normally this kind of brown person, but I just love these 3 colors together. Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty.
Really nice. There's a tiny bit of red in this brown. That's why, I think. Anyway, just really.
I mean, I like those 3 together. Look really cool too.
Yeah, that green is really nice.
Yeah. So that's new and very exciting.
I'm not sure I can stop touching it.
Soft. Very soft.
Beautiful. Yes.
And we also got in from Katya. It's called Azteca.
And it knits up like
and
this.
that's what it knits up. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And we, according to our inventory, we have 8 colors. I only managed to find 7 on the shelf to bring over. Because it's, again, one of these fun ones where you can't always tell.
Yeah.
I thought that I had all 8, and then I was looking at the actual color numbers, and I was like, oh no, those 2 are the same.
Yes, you can see it's got that sort of marled effect built right into it, which is nice. I'm in love with the pinks today for obvious reasons, but that pink is really pretty.
So again, 100 gram skein, 197 yards, so it's a little bit heavier and a little bit thicker than the Harriet. So you could probably knit it at an Aran with that weight, 197. Worsted or Aran.
Yeah.
It feels like it would compact pretty well. It's
really soft, yeah.
It's a blend. It's 53% wool and 47% acrylic.
So it's probably washable.
I'm just looking to see.
Maybe not dryable, but washable, probably.
Yeah, it looks like it could
go this gives
in
you
the
some
machine,
sense,
not in the dryer.
Of the length of the color repeats.
Yeah.
So this cowl is, maybe 16 inches in diameter or whatever. And so this cowl, in case you're interested, it's a nice little pattern, actually. It's got a sort of diagonal in it that maybe is hard to see, but it's called the Yolanda Neck Warmer by Joyce Fassbender. It's a free pattern on Ravelry.
Nice.
And this was knit on an 8.
Awesome.
Yeah, US 8. So
nice. And because I can't remember if I said it or not, retails for $17.99.
Yeah.
I think I did say that.
Yeah. It's nice.
So yes, brand new in the shop to us. We had 9 colors, but it looks like 1 got
I sold like 6 yesterday.
Sold out
to someone. So you might have she might have taken a lot of it. So yeah, so it's nice.
Fun, something new, something different.
Yeah, and good colors. Nice colors for kids. Nice colors for grown-ups.
Kind of,
or for your
like
child.
Rainbowy.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah, beautiful. Let's see. What else?
We have a couple knit-alongs going
knit-alongs,
on.
Right.
We have the
one starting.
along that's been going on. So that's using that barber pole type yarn.
Along.
Spin cycle, Beaterbrook, Schopel. We have a bundle up on the Ravelry group where you can take a look at some patterns if you need some inspirations. We also have the Snuggle Along, which is starting today.
And in that barber pole, we really have it in like so many weights. We have fingering weight, we have DK weight, and
some worsted if you use like Junction Fiber Mill. That's a local to us. They're more of like a worsted Aran.
We have both that and in the DK for them as well. And in the DK we have Schopel and then in the fingering weight we have Sauerball.
Sauerball, Sauerball crazy.
Yes.
So definitely some different options there. That's gonna run through the middle of April. So plenty of time if you want to make a shift or a shifty or a shift hat. I mean, there's tons of patterns. I just wanted to highlight a pattern that wasn't an Andrea Mowry pattern. There's other folks that are designing with this type of yarn.
Yeah.
Making some cool
Quite
things.
A few. Yeah. So, and there's a lot in that bundle that are others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have the Snuggle Along, which is starting today, the day we're recording. Not the day this releases, but the day we're recording. And that's just using a fuzzy yarn in your project, either by itself or with another yarn. So you can make whatever you want. Use that.
Fuzzy.
So, love note.
Fuzzy.
Have fun.
Yes.
So many options.
Yeah.
That's going to run through May. Have fun.
Yeah.
There's the rocket tee, which I made without fuzzy yarn, was actually designed to use a fingering weight, and then the other stripe was supposed to be mohair. So there's lots of options out there.
Yeah, and there's lots of sweaters that have, oh my goodness, what is going on?
That's like 4 times.
That's like a record.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I have a bundle. There's a bundle in the Ravelry group where I put a bunch of patterns. So check that out. Again, if you need some inspiration or just see. A few people have posted, like, does this count? I think I've said yes to all of them because I'm like, whatever. That's
Have we
cute.
ever said no? I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Yeah.
You know, if it's close enough, close enough.
Right. Exactly.
And then starting in March, we're gonna do the Seasons of Vermont along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if you have a box, have bought one of our Seasons of Vermont boxes, and you need some inspiration to use it, you can do that, or you can use one of the patterns.
I was going to say it could be anything, right? So it could be using the yarn in whatever pattern you want. It could be making the pattern that was in the box with any yarn you want, or of course you could make the project that is together in the box.
Or you can just use one of the patterns. I put all of our Seasons of Vermont patterns into a bundle. Again, yay, bundles. If you haven't checked out bundles, they're fun.
Yes.
Within the group, so you can find them really easily. I will give you extra entries for prizes if you use both a yarn and a pattern. Use them together, you get extra entries, but you don't have to.
If you carry it around in your project bag, you get an entry for that.
Sure.
If you take a picture.
Totally.
That's right. Right. And so there are a few, a bit of a random assortment of boxes from years past that are still up and available on our website. And of course, the new one is going to release in about a month.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite. No, just about
a month.
Middle of March.
That along, the SOV along, will start when the March box releases. And it will run the middle of May. Or maybe longer. I don't know.
Maybe it should run a little bit longer. Now that we've made a rule, we should probably break it.
It.
Well, just because, we'll have another box releasing mid-June. So it could run through like the 4th of July or something.
We'll see.
I don't know. Something random.
We'll see.
Right. We'll see.
See how it goes.
Right.
We may do more than one of these.
Right. That's true.
Because it's fun.
We could change the rules slightly each time. Yeah. We could do it all year. Right.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
So.
Yeah.
So before we set off, I have something for you.
Uh-oh. That's exciting.
I know, right? Happy Valentine's Day. No. So I know that you love a good hand wound.
I do. Oh.
So I got one for Jen. I got one for myself too, full disclosure. And I bought a third one to go in as a prize for one of our upcoming alongs. So this is what's called a waffle winder. And Katrinkles has been making these. And it's got instructions and directions on how to use this to make a center pole hand wound skein ball of yarn. So.
All right. Yeah. So it's like a nozzle.
Nostepin.
Nostepin. Yes.
Yes.
Only not quite as interesting.
Yes. So.
Awesome. Thank you. That's fun.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Something fun and different, and one for podcast land too.
That's right. She always has something fun and different.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
And we have quite a bit of her, sort of a random assortment of things that we have from her in the store.
Yeah.
So we have some of the darning looms and.
I have one of her darning
buttons.
looms because I was going to repair some socks, and have I done it? No.
I know. Yeah.
I should have.
It's very motivating, except for that it doesn't actually motivate me to do it, which is terrible. I watch her do her little things with her little videos that she posts,
so cool.
and I'm always so impressed.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, oh, that doesn't look so hard. I could probably do that. But there's a pile of things, not here, but that far away from me in my house at all times. Just beyond the reach of my arm.
Right.
Of things that need attention.
I even put all my stuff together, like my socks that needed repaired and the darning loom, and like, and I was like, here it is. And have I done anything with it? No.
That basket does not get picked up very often, right? The other basket that has, I don't know what, all the fun stuff in it.
Yeah.
Not that using a new tool is not fun. It is fun, but it's, I don't know.
Well, and what's interesting
There's not enough time.
is the socks that need to be darned are actually a couple of what were my favorite pairs of socks, which is why they need to be darned.
Right.
Because the heels wore out of them.
Yeah.
So I should get on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can start wearing those socks
because the choice is do that or take the heel out and
That was what I was considering doing.
I don't know what kind of heel it is, but
it's an afterthought heel, so it's a little more challenging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or not afterthought, it's a heel flap and gusset.
Oh, I was going to say
heel flap and
afterthought
gusset
would be a little bit easier.
Yeah, heel flap and gusset, so it would be a lot more challenging.
Could you take it out and do an afterthought? Could you
Maybe.
get enough stitches to make a circle?
I'm going to try darning first.
Yes, because you should.
I should. I have the tool.
A new tool.
I bought the tool.
That's right.
Like a year or more ago.
Yeah.
Forever ago, when she first came out with them, I was like, oh, I need that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I've used it zero. But I have it.
Yes. I actually think it might be easier to use it like on something flat first rather than on a heel. But it does have the little darning egg on it.
Yeah.
As part of it. So, yeah.
So.
Yes. Interesting. Well, thank you. This will be fun.
Welcome.
And I do. It's so funny. I was telling to someone the other day in the store that as I was showing them how to use our ball winder, she's like, oh, you must have like 4 of these at home. And I was like, nope. I don't have any at home because I just never bought one for myself. And I wound by hand because I learned how to do that, and it's just as fast actually for me. And rather than getting up and like digging out 5 pieces of equipment and setting them up and whatever, so usually I bring it in here. In all honesty, of course, and I wind the balls in here. But
I have had all of the equipment, and I used to bring everything into the store because it's all already set up. And when I set my craft dungeon up, I made sure that I had a space, so now they're both the
ready
Swift and the winder are already set up. So it's just I tend to wind at home now because it's just it's easier when it's already ready to go.
Right, exactly. And I keep thinking, well, it's not like you don't have a nice discount to buy yourself, a Swift and a ball winder, but it's fine. I have them right here.
That's true.
The only part, honestly, is the where the yarn sits while you're pulling,
Right.
But I've learned to put it around all sorts of things, around my knees, around the little table in front of me, around I don't know. One time I had it around my computer. My computer was set up, my little tablet screen, and so I had it wrapped around no one could see.
Yeah. I will sit a lot of times with my
way.
knees up.
Yeah.
And then have it around my knees, which can get really awkward depending on what the
plus
yarn's
the cat is
doing.
like, ooh, I want to be up there.
Right. Is that for me?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he's, the knees are the highest point. At that point, that's where every cat wants to be, at the highest point.
I actually have 2. I have 2 ball winders. I had an old one. But the Cece's Wool, the Yarn Babies, did it in because it was too big and I couldn't. And I was like, I need a bigger ball winder.
Yeah.
So now I have like a smaller one that's not set up, and then I have a bigger one that I do most of my stuff on.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can take the mega skeins.
Yeah, and the one we have here is big.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
The one we have here, I like the new one that we have here. It doesn't have quite the same grinding mechanisms, which is nice. So.
The one I have at home is a Stanwood.
Yeah.
But it's not making weird grinding noises because it doesn't get the kind of use.
Does not get the daily quadruple times
here
everyone
was getting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that one would have lasted a lot longer.
It lasted a considerable amount of time.
Yeah.
Considering how much use it got.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, so I don't have anything else.
No, I feel like there's probably 1,200 things, but my brain is sort of empty.
Yeah, it's kind of the end of the day for us. And
yep. And those lights are going to go off again.
They are. I know. Totally. So I think we'll wrap this up.
That's right.
And thanks for hanging out with us and spending some time. And we hope you found some things or saw some things that inspired you and piqued your interest. So come check out our Ravelry group. We got a fun group over there.
Yeah.
So.
Check out a class. Send us a note if you need a class that we don't have listed.
Say hey down in the comments. Like,
That's right.
We love hearing from folks.
Do all the things you're supposed to do.
Set the notifications. I think that's what YouTube is. You don't subscribe anymore. You set notifications. I don't know. They keep changing everything.
I can barely keep up with like the actual codes and regulations. I have to keep up with all day, every day. Learning this new language is complicated for me.
Exactly.
But either way.
So we will see everybody soon. Hopefully try to keep on this every other week schedule.
I just put it in as a recurring event in my calendar.
I should do that
as
well.
And I thought to myself, should I do this or is this going to jinx this sequence? It might jinx the sequence, but I'm doing it anyway. Because someone will schedule my time if I do not block it. So,
yes.
The joy of the shared calendar with 200 other people. Or even just the local 15. But
mine's more of like what's on the home calendar.
Yeah.
Because I have a little more control over my work calendar.
Yes.
At least at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So anyway.
I have one meeting that's going to go tomorrow night till 7. I have another meeting that starts at 7 o'clock on Thursday morning. So there is no respect for business hours anymore left in this world. But when you do healthcare work for a living, you got to meet when the people are available.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Anyway, we digress.
Yes. So thank you, everybody.
All right.
We will see you soon.
That's right. In 2 weeks.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye. Turn that on.
All right.
Yo, I have to make a new one of these. This is way too big for me. It's all right.
Well, they're oversized anyway. But yes.
But this is it's way oversized.
It's probably soft and cozy though.
It is very soft and cozy.
Yeah, necessary.
It's very nice. When I walked into my office this morning to no heat.
And you were like, ooh, where are all my warm things? That
would
not be exciting at all.
No, it was like 62 degrees in there.
Almost as exciting as walking downstairs after taking a shower on Friday and all of a sudden having your water just stop running out of your faucet.
Oh my God.
Yes. For the third or fourth time in the last 6 months.
Did it get squared away?
It is. New well pump. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Brave new world.
We've had that go before. We've had to replace that before.
I've been in my house long enough that this is my second one in this house. So the fact that it didn't just go, but it like sort of gradually went.
That's apparently what they do.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So apparently the electrical connection for it was becoming more exposed and he thinks it was short circuiting, which is why it was shutting itself off randomly. Yeah. And it was complicated. The nice thing is I've been vindicated because I was sure that it was the well pump. The plumber came and said, no, it's a frozen pipe, because there was a frozen pipe in between there. But the 2 times before and this most recent time, they're definitely the well pump. It's now fixed.
Interesting.
Yes, and in fairness, the well people came the end of the day on Friday. Got there at like 4:30, 5 o'clock and stayed till 6:30 when it was done. Yeah, which was great. Gotta love these family businesses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay. Vermont Well and Pump. I salute you.
Jackman's from Jen's scooted right up. They were at my office by like 9 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, they're the best. I love them.
Take a look at it and get it.
Was it the furnace or something?
Yeah, it was the furnace. There was something on the aqua flow meter or something that had come loose.
Those damn aqua flow meters.
I don't know. I think that's the right term.
No, it's
like the little electronic box that sits on the
controller box.
Furnace, the controller box. But the guy who came was like, I'm pretty sure I installed that like 10 or 11 years ago. So if it happens again, you might actually have to replace the whole box. I'm like, okay, well, at least I know.
The well guy got very excited. He thought it was a controller box. And then he opened it up and realized that it was just a bypass. There was no controller box anymore. That had been taken care of a long time ago. Anyway, he's like, oh, I guess we got to go outdoors and pull it out.
Oh.
That's fine. The more exciting piece of that is that apparently when you have 18 inches of snow a week and a half ago, where's your wellhead located? Not next to your driveway. So to get the big truck out there, I worked from home on Friday for perhaps obvious reasons now. And they were like, we need to be able to get the truck over to the well. And I was like, okay, how's that going to happen? There's a snowbank and 12 inches of snow because it had melted a little bit. But I called my guy who plows my driveway, and he was home, and he came over and
took care of it
with his bulldozer and moved the snowbank and cleared a path. So that was awesome. I'm loving my local peeps right now. I gotta tell you,
I am too. I had the same thing at my office. Again, my office is like the problem child. Because at home, if I need plowing, I just tell my husband, like, go take care of it. But at my office, they had plowed. We have new plow people this year, and they're again a local family business. And I forgot to tell them, you can plow here, but I need a path through this space so my fuel company can get in to refill, because they don't want to have to be climbing over snowbanks. And so I get to the office last week after the snowstorm, and I was like, oh man, I forgot to tell them. I literally just took a picture and texted it to them and was like, is there any way you guys can come clear this space so my fuel people can get in if they need to? Like, I'll pay, like, it's my fault. Right. Like, I didn't tell you to do that. They just showed up and it was done. Like, I came out like at noontime and I was like, whoa, they were here and they cleared it and it's totally taken care of. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yes. They're good people here.
Yes.
Everywhere. I'm sure everybody has similar stories, but it's nice when you're having this very annoying thing happen and like people just make it easy to solve.
Instead of being like, it's not my problem. Well,
like my plumber guy came and he's like, he was down there and he's looking around and he's like, I don't know what to tell you. He said, I'm pretty sure it's the well because it's not any of the things I can see. And you know what? They still haven't even sent me a bill for when the pipe froze. Like, I'm hoping that's coming. People, I would like to pay you.
Probably. For that. They're probably so busy with stuff that they'll get to it.
But yeah, so all things considered.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's done. It's fixed.
Yeah. Yay. Water.
Yes. Assuming it didn't freeze today. Because once again.
Oh, I know. It's ridiculously cold out.
It was 50 degrees, almost 50, let's be clear, almost 50 degrees on Saturday.
Oh.
I think maybe in a sunny spot, like at noontime for about 20 minutes, it might have been 50 degrees. And it was below zero this morning.
And yesterday it was in the teens.
Yeah, it went.
And kind of chilly. And this morning, single digits.
And tonight it's supposed to be cold again.
Really cold again tonight. And then it's supposed to be like 60 by Thursday again.
Which will be fine. I will say this, the snow, I mean, it is crazy. If this well issue had happened like yesterday, it wouldn't have mattered because the snow melted enough on Saturday. But on Friday it was still there. So, yeah. So now I have all these weird snowbanks in my yard. Like
I do.
And my yard is completely bare where because it melted all, like whatever was left just melted.
Right. I do too, because my kids like to tunnel through the snowbanks that are created from plowing. So it looks like we have some sort of weird like snow gophers.
That's fun. I remember building forts and tunneling like that. We used to love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It keeps them busy for a while.
King of the hill. Top of the, I remember. Crazy. Yeah. Back in the days when it always felt like the snow was above your head when it snowed and it got so much, but not so much anymore.
Not so much anymore.
So I enjoyed that snowstorm a couple weeks ago. I forgot that was after, when did we last do this? I don't know.
2 weeks ago.
So maybe it had snowed.
So I think we had a little bit of snow, but I think the big storm came later in the week.
Yeah, it was exciting.
My kids didn't have school Thursday and Friday. It was ridiculous.
Friday I get, but why not Thursday?
Oh, don't even get me started.
It's like the snow prep day. I don't even know what you call that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it might snow.
In anticipation of the icy conditions. But they didn't call it the night before. So if they had called it the night before, I would have been less mad.
Right.
Because the night before, it looked like it was going to be really icy. No, they called it at like 6 a.m. on Thursday morning when you could go outside and see that we were not having the ice event that they predicted.
Right, and we never, and they had said like a little bit of snow in the afternoon, but it didn't even start snowing.
Not till later.
Long after commute time.
Yeah, no, Craziness. It was ridiculous. But yeah, we had a ton of snow.
Friday morning,
lots
of snow.
The store was closed. We decided to close the store that day just because it was supposed to be wrapped up by mid-morning, and it didn't wrap up till like 4.
Right, they said
3,
like 10,
4.
and then it became 1, and then it was actually, I went to my sister's house at like 6 o'clock, and it was still snowing then.
Yeah,
And,
it was.
yeah.
So just to keep
Yeah.
everybody safe, and we figured there'd be not very many people out anyway. So
Yes. Yeah, it may or probably would have been fine, but I'll think, or maybe just to open late, but it's fine.
it's all right.
But it was exciting. Solid 18
Everybody
inches.
gets a snow day once in a while.
That's right.
My kids got 2. Woo!
Hmm. Yeah, so it's weird because I've worked from home 2 Fridays in a row now between the snowstorm and the well issue. So I don't know. It's kind of, if I was going to choose a work from home day, it might be Friday. But I will tell you that my motivation, by then I'm tired, I'm done with the week. So at 10 o'clock on Friday morning, if you've got like a list of things you could do, but there's no real deadline, you don't really want to do them when you're at home. If I'm in the office, I would just get those things done.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm the same way, and I've occasionally, maybe once or twice a month, been like, I'm gonna work at home on Friday, which is code for I have like 1 or 2 things I'm going to do, and that's it, because I need a break.
I did have several meetings, so I was but I had like weird times in between them, so it was not really productive time, and I was not intending to be home, so I hadn't brought much home with me to do. So anyway,
I brought my computer home.
I bring my computer home with me every night because I am just weird that way.
Yeah. I probably should, but I don't.
Well, mine's a little tablet computer, so it's portable. Yes. So
I'm still plugging away on this thing.
Yeah.
I might need some more of the white yarn.
Uh-oh.
Just haven't decided yet if I need more or not.
We will have discussed the Noro fast by the time we get to this part.
I'm on the fence because we have like 6 or 7 skeins of this color over there, and I feel like I should probably just go buy the couple of skeins that I think I might need, because all it would take is somebody to come in and buy like a sweater's quantity of it, and then I'd be like, I don't have the color that I need now. Yeah,
I don't want to destroy our customers' faith in us, but I actually overbought for even fall because I wanted to make sure no matter what I decided, blue or white, I would have enough. So I'm pretty sure there's an extra skein or 2 of both the blue and the white, since I'm using both. Probably don't need the full quantity of both. Also because I'm knitting it at a bigger scale or whatever gauge. Sorry, architecture is scale, knitting is gauge.
Different words.
Sometimes I get my words messed up.
It's all right.
Particularly today. Not that it was a late night, because of course that football game wasn't terribly long.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I stayed up and watched it. I mean, that's my normal.
Yeah.
I didn't stay up late. It was normal time for me.
Yeah, me too. I was excited that it didn't go long.
Was in bed, because that's what they do.
Yeah.
My kids got to watch through the halftime show.
It was a good halftime show.
It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, it's very architectural. I love that part.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Something different. I
really thought they did a great... Honestly, it's not necessarily my favorite music because I'm, old. But but other than that, it was fine. And the stage set and the way they did everything, I just thought it was actually really cool.
I saw something that indicated like the average age of the performers was 47. And to me, that is incredible. Like, that is amazing.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That makes sense, because that's my sort of generation of music.
Yes. The hair behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was good. And, if football games go, it was interesting.
Well, it was fun.
I didn't care about either one, so I was rooting for the underdog, of course, so I was a little cranky at the end.
Oh, yeah. My family was rooting for the Bengals as well. I did not really care one way or the other.
No, and I thought it was nice, young coaches, young quarterbacks. It was pretty cool.
New teams.
Yeah.
Close game, exciting game. Like, that's...
Well, the third quarter dragged a hair.
Well,
yes, right.
Some okay commercials.
Yeah, I thought the commercials weren't quite... I mean, there were some good ones, but I don't know, there was a few... There wasn't as much variety as there normally is. Like, I feel like there were less in general, but... And since I've, been sportsing out on the Olympics, Although it's funny, I didn't watch the beginning because I kind of forgot. Like I knew they were on, but I was busy doing. I don't know what I was doing, but so I didn't watch the first 3 or 4 nights, and then I was like, "Oh, it's the Olympics!
Oh, the Olympics!
Right? Why are my shows not on? Oh, because there's the Olympics. That's why. Right? So anyway, so I have been watching a bit of it, but I haven't. One of our customers yesterday was like, "Oh, you should watch it on this channel." Because on USA, because there's better coverage and there's more live coverage and less of the scripted, whateverness.
Yeah.
Which is the only thing I don't love about prime time is that they sort of script it. But,
I've been watching a lot on Peacock.
Yeah.
Just because that seems to be like a nice collection, so you can find everything in one place.
Yeah.
And they have a nice mix of like the scripted versus the just we're just showing it. So
yeah. I was enjoying watching I don't really have any particular favorites. I like to watch most of them. I did come home from the store yesterday and I was tired and hungry and so it was all pregame whatever, which I didn't really feel like watching until the game actually got going. So I did go over to USA and it was men's curling. So I was determined to watch something. So,
it's amazing.
And so honestly, it's really. I was looking up on my phone, like, what are the score? Like, what does this mean? I don't understand what they're doing.
What are they doing?
And so every time I would type in, like, sweeping, and Google would be like, sweeping the ice and curling. And then I was like, hammer. It was like, put the hammer down in curling. And whatever else. I was just like 3 different things I looked up because I was trying to figure out what the announcer people were talking about. And just every single one, it was very funny. Google
knows.
Apparently, there were lots of us looking that up between 4 and 6 yesterday afternoon.
That's amazing.
It did make me laugh, actually.
That's awesome.
Yes. Sweeping. I mean, there's a lot of things that go along with sweeping, but it was the number one response.
Lots of people checking out. What is this?
That's right. What are these crazy people doing? So, but as a good Scottish girl, I occasionally like to watch curling because it makes me feel connected to nothing. I don't know what, but it's it's entertaining.
Gonna reach up and swing this over just a tad.
Oh. There's nothing on that shoulder that anyone needs to see.
Maybe. So we just are a little more, there we go, a little more balanced.
Yeah.
A little more balanced in the view.
Okay.
Or something.
Right.
I don't know. Probably just made it cockeyed.
No, it looks fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's Monday.
Awesome. It is Monday. We should probably,
Because we got all kinds of stuff here.
All kinds of things.
Which you will have already seen and hopefully enjoyed.
So, all right. Are we ready?
We are, I think. I don't know. Are we ready? Sure.
I think so.